Happy holidays from Channel 4.
While April in Paris has been immortalized in song, Christmas time in Paris could be as well. The City of Lights is a year-round sparkling jewel, but seems to take on an even brighter glow at this time of year, and monuments like the Arc de Triomphe reach a new level of beauty. With this backdrop, most of the world's great professional skaters like Ty Babylonia and Randy Gardner are in Paris today to perform. They're here with Kitty and Peter Carruthers, the 1984 Olympic silver medalists. Another who'll take to the ice is Dorothy Hamill, the former world and Olympic champion, who at the age of 29 is performing with a renewed vitality. And Scott Hamilton, who's become a master showman, is also here to rekindle the memory of his Olympic gold in a professional figure skating special performance on ABC's Wide World of Sports. Also today, a set of truly unique athletes demonstrate their extraordinary skills in the National Handicapped Ski Championships.
Spanning the globe to bring you the constant variety of sport, the thrill of victory, and the agony of defeat. The human drama of athletic competition. This is ABC's Wide World of Sports.
Brought to you by Ford and your local Ford dealer, who invites you to see the 1986 Ford cars and trucks. Have you driven a Ford lately? By the Milford Plaza Hotel, the lullaby of Broadway. And by Budweiser, Beechwood Age, for that distinctively clean, crisp taste that makes Budweiser the king of beers. For all that you do, this Bud for you.
Let me show you an old mechanic's trick. When you do a tune-up, make sure you don't forget the PCV valve and the gas filter. Leave the old ones in and you can get starting problems installing. And don't try to save a few cents on no-name brands. Put in those you've heard of, like Fram. After all, if you're going to all the trouble of a tune-up, why not use parts from a company that's gone to all the trouble to make good ones? Fram. Fram, a good name to go with.
Here's to you, Beechwood Age, for that clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
This Bud's for you.
Our event today from Paris is professional figure skating's World Challenge of Champions, and the site is the new Palais Omnisport, where a large crowd has gathered for this holiday treat. Hello again, everyone. I'm Al Michaels, and we have a great show coming your way from Paris today as we take a look at some of the world's top pairs in competition here. And also later in the program, exhibition performances from people such as Scott Hamilton, the 1984 Olympic gold medalist, Robin Cousins, who won the gold in 1980, the 1976 ladies Olympic gold medalist, Dorothy Hamill, and the most recent Olympic silver medalist, Rosalind Sumners. But right now, let's turn our attention to the pairs, and let me turn to Peggy Fleming, our longtime analyst for both professional and amateur figure skating. We've got some marquee names here today.
We certainly do. We have some legends in the sport of pair skating. We have Oleg and Ludmila Protopopov competing here, and they are really in a class by themselves. They are incredible. They're in their 50s, and they're skating extremely well. We have Ty Babylonia and Randy Gardner. They were world champions in 1979, and they've been professional for quite a few years, and they're skating very well. We also have Barbara Underhill and Paul Martini of Canada, and they are doing very difficult moves, and they're just skating really strong. We also have Kitty and Peter Carruthers, who won a silver medal in Sarajevo, and they're skating really well. So it's going to be a very tough competition. And remember, we are seeing the best pair skaters that really skating has to offer. But at a competition like this, it really counts on how they skate tonight.
And they truly are competing, because there's a lot of money at stake. The winning pair will take home $40,000, $20,000 to the runners-up, and then third place is worth $12,000, $8,000 for fourth. First up, Ty Babylonia and Randy Gardner, the two Southern Californians who lost out on a chance to win a medal at the 1980 Olympics because of his leg injury, but they were the '79 world champs.
Of course, this is the music to Slaughter on 10th Avenue from On Your Toes. This is a split double Lutz. Nice. Their line is always so beautiful. Look at that extension. The strength that Randy must have to do these lifts with Ty. Look at this. She's not helping him at all. Okay, now coming up is their side-by-side double flip jumps. And they tap in and go 2 revolutions. Oh, Ty has missed it. She didn't even attempt the jump. So that's going to give her some trouble, I think, on their technical mark. Remember, the judges are judging on a technical mark of athletic ability and speed and strength and the quality of these moves and jumping and pair lifts and spins, and also on artistic impression of their musical interpretation and their originality and choreography. This all counts. Program. Ty did miss one of the pair jumps that they did together, so maybe their technical mark may be down a little bit, but their unison is still great.
At the age of 25, Randy Gardner, now 27. They've been skating together for 16 years. Crowd responding to the first performance in this pairs competition.
Now we're going to take a look at this very difficult lift. It's a back press lift. This is the only time where Ty really helps him. She's holding on to his hands. Normally, the girl would always be holding on and doing her extensions, but now she's going to let go. The only help she can give him is really to keep her body rigid, and the strength he must have is really incredible.
The scoring is done by 5 judges. You throw out the high and the low. 10 points is perfect as opposed to 6 in amateur competition. So after the high and low are thrown out, the other 3 scores are added together as they look at their marks for technical merit. A 9-9, the last mark. Throw out the high and the low. 29.2 is the total then for technical merit. Now artistic impression, 9-8, the first mark for Ty and Randy. A 9-9. Another 9-8. And still another. And one more for 29.4 for artistic impression, a total of 58.6 for Ty Babylonia and Randy Gardner. And you know, there's a part of Christmas in Paris that's just like Christmas everywhere.
A personal car that has exactly what we're looking for. Taurus. Now there's an American car with the shape and the feel we've never seen before.
For all of us who demand excellence in design and function, for all of us who will not compromise, Ford listened. Ford created Taurus for us.
For us. Now there's an American car that has exactly what we've been looking for. Taurus. Now there's an American car with the shape and the feel we've never seen before. Ford has seen where we're going. Ford has heard us loud and clear. Ford has seen the future, and now the future is here. For us. Taurus. For us. Taurus. For us. Have you driven a Ford lately?
Well, the third quarter earnings report is going to be released tomorrow. Uh-huh. Yeah.
There's a remarkable telephone system called Omni that can actually grow as your company grows, mostly without changing it, but by simply reprogramming it. So you can have the latest telecommunications capabilities, both voice and data, no matter how big you get.
Gee.
No GTE.
The Gator Bowl Monday night. Florida State tangles with Thurman Thomas at Oklahoma State. The Sugar Bowl Wednesday night. Second-ranked Miami with hopes of a national championship meets number 8 Tennessee on ABC Sports.
Next, we'll see the timeless ones, the Proto-Popovs, who defected from the Soviet Union in the mid-70s, now living in Switzerland. Ludmila and Oleg Protopopov, who won the Olympic gold medal in 1964 at Innsbruck. He at the age of 31, she then 28. And there they were on the victory stand, a scene that would be repeated in 1968 when they won the gold at Grenoble. I asked the Protopopovs what they think when they watch old films and tapes of themselves.
I don't like it.
Why?
Why? You know, I noticed this many, many years ago. It was in probably 1958. We began to skate in 1954, 32 years ago. And it was the first opportunity to see our skating on the small 8mm film without music and so on. And it was a very good success. And the public was very satisfied with our skating. And when we saw this skating, my eye was square. And I said, why the applause to us? I don't understand, because I don't like it. It's so many mistakes. It's so unperfect. And there is no perfection in it.
Known for their beauty and grace, do they consider themselves athletes or artists?
Probably this is our secret of our success, because we never were a sportsman. We were an artist in the frame of the sport.
And here they are on the ice in Paris, the Protopopovs. He now 53, she's 50.
Oops, Oleg had a little trouble with that axle. Watch this next move. Watch Ludmila, the control that she must have to not spin around when she lets go of Oleg's hand. Very pure ballet. I was talking to them earlier about their choreography, if they use mirrors or use video to see how they're doing, and they said no, that we do our choreography on feeling. Them doing this in competition, that beautiful spiral, that control that they had. Technically, they're not doing as difficult a tricks as some of the other pairs, but their choreography is very interesting, very classic ballet.
Peggy, do you feel the judges will take their ages into account?
Well, I think they really can't in this competition, because there is that artistic mark and technical mark. And artistically, I mean, they are just in really a class by themselves, but technically, they really don't do the difficult things like our pairs of today are doing.
In 1968 in France, in Grenoble, a warm response from the crowd. They know they've looked on watching this truly legendary couple. How much longer will they go? He says forever.
Now watch this axle. He just really fell out of it. He's lucky that he didn't completely fall. And now here's a look at a very classic death spiral. Watch her swan-like arm movements. and that beautiful extension.
And there are their marks for technical merit, a 9.8, a 9.6. Those are both thrown out. The 3 9.7s added together for a total of 29.1 for technical merit.
While this couple is really beautiful to watch, this overhead lift is probably their most difficult thing that they've done, and it's a basic lift for the other pair teams here.
The judges certainly appreciate their artistic impression more. A 10, a 9.8, now a 9.9. So the scores here are high. Another 9.9. And still one more. So their total 58.8, and they take the lead in this competition.
Come on along, I'll take you to the lullaby of Broadway. Hickory and Ballyhoo.
The lullaby of Broadway.
And in the center of it all
Is the Milford Plaza.
Stay at the Milford Plaza Hotel with cocktail dinner and breakfast for $43 per person. Discover why we are the lullaby of Broadway.
The Milford Plaza is the lullaby of all Broadway.
These are the hands of Mr. Goodwrench. Hands that work. Hands with the know-how to fix things. Hands that are strong and sure. Hands that are gentle, accurate. Hands that can almost see where the trouble is and how to make it right again. Hands of skill. Hands that care. The working hands of Mr. Goodwrench. And no one knows your GM car better. No one.
What is the secret of a truly fine sparkling wine? It is the bubbles. Tiny bubbles like these. The smaller the bubble, the better the bottle. This is Riunite Spumante, a superb sparkling wine from Italy. An elegant sparkling wine with more taste than champagne. Our tiny bubbles will convince you. Riunite Spumante. More taste than champagne.
I'm Lynette Woodard, and here's some magic. I've learned a lot being the first female Harlem Globetrotter, and now you can catch the magic on ABC's Wide World of Sports.
The next pair to skate is Barbara Underhill and Paul Martini of Canada. They went into the Olympics in 1984 favored to win a medal, but the competition for them turned out to be a disaster. And I asked them how they remembered Sarajevo.
We don't. We try not to.
It gets further and further away all the time.
It was just incredibly disappointing. It's nice because we had a chance to come back after that. And if we hadn't had that chance, I think it would have still been very hard to take. Now we look back on it as something that happened. It's a part of sport, and you can't do anything about it. It was a fluke, and you have to just put that behind you and move on. And it's very disappointing. Although we do have good memories of the Olympics, the competing part just wasn't one of them.
Their chance to atone came about a month later, and it came in their home country. As in Ottawa, they captured the 1984 World Championship.
I think more than anything was the chance to prove to ourselves, more than anyone, that we really could skate to win. That was really the biggest disappointment of Sarajevo. I think you look at an Olympic Games and you can walk away satisfied if you were able to perform to the best of your ability. And we didn't do that, and that was more frustrating than actually where we placed.
I asked them if their victory in Ottawa was more savored because of what had happened in Sarajevo.
Yes, because we had been on such a low that, I mean, within a month we were at the lowest point in our career to the absolute highest, all within 1 month. So it really came out well.
Now on the ice as professionals in Paris, Barbara Underhill and Paul Martini.
This is the music of Starlight Express. This is the train race.
Performed in the play on roller skates.
It's a pretty exciting play, I hear. Now this is a triple twist flip. Very nice, the speed that this couple gets when they're skating. throw axle. Watch the height that she gets. Beautiful. The audience is really turned on to this so far. What a drastic difference between what we just saw from the Protopopovs, their beautiful classical style, and now we are seeing the excitement, the speed, and difficulty of what pair skaters of today are doing. Injury. She had a cracked ankle. She was out of the show. She skates with Ice Capades. They were out of the show for 8 weeks, and I talked to her earlier, and it seems her ankle is back to normal and fit as ever. Cute choreography. It was done by Sandra Bezic of Canada.
Still to come in this pairs competition, Kitty and Peter Carruthers.
Very nice forward inside death spiral. Now watch this back hand-to-hand press. Look at that extension she gets. It's beautiful. Real nice. That's a very difficult lift. Coming to an end. It's a real cute ending. Well, they skated very well. Technically, they did the most difficult move so far. You know, it's a very clever routine, so we'll see what the judges have to say. And now here's this back press lift where she just has to bounce just so to stay up there. Very difficult.
And now the scores coming up, and the first one for technical merit is a 10. A perfect mark in professional competition. The next a 9.9. And a 9.7. You don't see that very often. Quite a disparity between the 10 and the 9.7. Judge number 4 back to a 9.9. And another 9.9. So the 9.7 and the 10 are thrown out. That's 29.7 for technical merit for Underhill and Martini. Now they await artistic impression. The first mark is a 9.9. So is that one. And another 9.9. A fourth. And all five. Give them 9.9. Their total 59.4. They have the lead.
I take it you have to be pretty pleased with those marks. Yeah, it was quite a good outing for us. The ice felt good, and the audience is finally getting into the whole competition.
I heard you also say the ice felt a little slow.
Yeah, I think we felt
slow. It's not bad. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong.
Sometimes you get off and it feels fast. Sometimes you get off and it feels slow, but it's irrelevant.
How's your ankle?
It's coming along very well, thank you.
The crowd was really into it. Could you sense that in the middle of the routine?
Yeah, it kind of gets you going. Once you hear the crowd behind you, it really helps.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Another side of Christmas in Paris. Fortunately, the bills don't come until January.
What it takes, full tilt, all out, holy flakes. Nothing halfway, nothing sweet, just a great big crunch of good whole wheat. Yeah, hey banana, move aside. These big flakes got nothing to hide. Wheaties, Wheaties, good whole wheat. Now
Federal Express is going to Europe. And to help celebrate, we've invited everyone who's ever been in a Federal Express commercial.
Accustomed as I am to public speaking, I would just like to say this certainly is a momentous occasion. I am certainly moved by it all. And it's
We're going to make sending a package to Europe as easy and reliable as it is here, with 2-day service in our own planes to London, Paris, Frankfurt, Zurich, Amsterdam, and Brussels. Federal Express to Europe. Why fool around with anyone else?
Sometimes a simple river crossing isn't so simple. And when you've got him back, it's your turn. Push. Head for the beer brewed natural as a mountain stream, for a taste as smooth as its name. Push. Head for Bush beer. Head for the mountains.
After screening a segment of Growing Old in America, Tony Danza had this to say.
I would never want to see my parents in that position. I would never want to be in that position where I'm unable to help myself and nobody wants to help me either.
Watch Growing Old in America tonight.
The final pair we'll see in Paris, Kitty and Peter Carruthers from Massachusetts. Now professionals, they won in 1981 the U.S. National Championships, succeeding Babylonia and Gardner, and then came this performance in Sarajevo in 1984, their final amateur performance, when they wound up winning in a memorable finish the Olympic silver medal. Their memories of Sarajevo.
Sarajevo was what we had been working for, I think, ever since we stepped on the ice. It was a dream come true.
Now that their amateur days are over, have they had the chance to pursue their other interests in life?
It's been something that has to be put aside for now, because we're young, we're very lucky to be in the position we're in. There's so many people fighting to get where we are right now. And so you have to, you know, at this age say, hey, look, my career is #1 right now. And even though you've got that burn in the pocket to spend the money and to have the girlfriends and the boyfriends, I'm sure for Kitty's the same, we have to really be very devoted to one another right now. We want to be, because it's not going to last forever. So you want to take it while you can get it.
Now here they are on the ice trying to overtake Underhill and Martini.
Well, Kitty and Peter have their work cut out for them after the marks of Underhill and Martini. But they also do some very difficult moves technically. Nice extension on these camels into the back sits. This is the music from Jesus Christ Superstar. Now coming up is a throw triple Salchow, one of the most difficult moves even being attempted here at this competition. Very nice. Now this is a move that they've invented. It's a lateral twist lift where she's spinning actually parallel to the ice. Very difficult. And side-by-side double toe loops. Very nice. These flying camels, they're a little out of sync. Watch them do their rotations. They should be right with each other, but they're really not. Pretty move where he holds the back of her head. go. One hand. Now watch him put her down. It takes great strength on the guy's part, but she also has to keep very rigid to give him something to control.
Very nice performance by Kitty and Peter Carruthers. The crowd loves it. They look like they're pretty happy about it as well, and we'll find out shortly if they have overtaken Underhill and Martini.
Now it's really up to the judges as to how they're going to judge technically between Underhill and Martini and Kitty and Peter on the technical moves.
And here come the marks for technical merit. Two looking at the scoreboard, and the first thing they see is a 10. Kitty looks like she's surprised, but pleasantly, another 10. And a third. Somehow a 9-9 slips in there. And another 10. So that's perfect to throw out the high and the low, 110 and the 9-9, a total of 30 for technical merit. Now for artistic impression, a 10 there as well from Judge 1. Then a 9-9, another 10, still one more. That's a total of 7 10s and a 9-9 and 59.9 for Kitty and Peter Carruthers. That's about as close to perfection as you can get. Were you expecting marks that high?
I'll tell you, Al, we have been just touring our brains out with ice capades and getting these numbers together. It's been such a challenge, but Kitty and I have worked so hard together. And being over here with you guys again and remembering Sarajevo, it's just been a great day, great week.
How'd you feel about it, Kitty?
They're our first perfect marks we've ever gotten. We never got one in amateur, so I'm flying high. I wish everyone from home was here with us.
Were you inspired anymore by the fact that Underhill and Martini scored so well? You had a tough act to follow.
Oh, we are with them every time. Any of these people. Listen, you know, if I could make this point now, I'd like to do it. This is a competition. We all understand that. But at the same time, each person out here tonight has done something great at one time or another. It's nice to compete and everything, but I think people really have to keep perspective over what it's all about. We're all good friends. We're having a good time, and I'm just glad it's over. And
Ron had a good time. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Now, here are the final standings and the prize money. Peter and Kitty Carruthers won it. Underhill and Martini second. The Protopopovs third, and then Babylonia and Gardner. How does it feel to be $40,000, Richard?
You're kidding. Who put you up to that? Who's been reading our contract?
Well, we've got the marks, and you're the winners.
Oh, my God. It's great.
A happy and festive Parisian holiday for the Carruthers. And we'll return to the French capital after this.
Alpha team, aggressor tanks spotted.
No, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go!
In a battle drill, you've got good guys and you've got bad guys. The hunter and the hunted.
We got the box that you can get. Let's get him.
If you're gonna win, you need horsepower, firepower, people power. That's teamwork.
Moving tank, direct front, 2,000.
This team uses a computer, thermal sight, laser rangefinder.
We win, the whole tank wins. The whole team wins, not just one person.
Find your future in the Army.
Tonight, watch Growing Old in America. See what your future will bring.
It's hard enough going to work with a head cold. But when that cold moves to your chest and makes breathing tougher, that can really drain you. Don't worry. Get Head and Chest. Head and Chest relieves a stuffy head and has the added benefit of guaifenesin to help clear chest congestion for better breathing from head to chest. Before a cold gets you down, get Head and Chest and feel better, breathe better from head to chest.
Well, I didn't do it. Well, one of us did. We all had the opportunity. We all had a motive.
Great. We'll all go to the chair.
Maybe it wasn't one of us. Well, who else could it have been? Who else is in the house? Only the cook.
Tim Curry and Company unravel the mystery in Clue, the comedy whodunit with not one, not two, but 3 endings.
And we'll tell you whether any one of them is worth seeing. Clue is one of 4 new movies we'll review this week on At the Movies, the movie review program.
Right here on Channel 4.
MASH, Monday at 5 and 5:30 on Channel 4.
Well, we'll be returning to Paris shortly, and a reminder that coming up will be exhibition performances from Scott Hamilton, Robin Cousins, Dorothy Hamill, and also Rosalind Sumners. But right now, a special wider world of sports segment for you, featuring some extremely special, very dedicated athletes.
For a ski racer, those final seconds before the race begins are daunting. Moments filled with hope and fear. And if you have only one leg, those feelings are sharpened. But once the race has started, the fears fly away, replaced by the splendor of the sport. Who don't have the full use of either leg, the challenge comes from maneuvering this sit ski down the unforgiving mountain without benefit of a steering device. And then there are those with artificial limbs who make the unnatural look so natural. Welcome to the 14th Annual Handicapped Ski Championships. We're speaking to you from the Breckinridge ski area in the Rocky Mountains about 90 miles west of Denver, Colorado. You're about to see a group of men and women to whom life has not always been kind, but who have turned their misfortune into positive forces. This competition is highly competitive, and pity long ago fled down the mountain in front of their considerable achievements. These men and women, disabled by birth defects, injuries, disease, or the fortunes of war, have become, if you will, undisabled, and show us all what a tremendous thing the human spirit can be. This is the Arroyo sit ski. It is used by individuals who are paralyzed or who have lost the use of their legs due to cerebral palsy or other forms of neuromuscular disease. For people who live basically in a slow-motion world, it gives them an exhilarating sense of freedom.
I tell you, I've only found one thing that's close to it, and that's jumping out of an airplane. Parachuting, skydiving. This is as about free as you can get. It's excellent. You can go fast, you can go controlled, and you can have a lot of fun, and you meet a lot of super people. Okay,
the sit ski is not unlike a kayak. Sharp edges on the bottom, just like regular snow skis. It has no brakes, no steering mechanism, and it has opened up a whole new world to paralyzed people.
Well, Europeans had been using a sled-like device, but there was really nothing that was controllable for downhill skiing.
And in sit skiing, you steer how?
It's a combination of shifting your weight forward and back, just like a skier would, and shifting your hips and pull movements for timing and to initiate your turns.
Those poles or picks help them steer and slow down. The sit ski was developed over a decade ago. Now the trend is to adapt the equipment to a person's specific physical challenge.
I'm feeling ready to go.
Meet Chad Coley. Chad is a triple amputee, losing both legs and an arm in the Vietnam War. He used to compete with a sit ski, but now prefers his specially adapted equipment called a monoski.
Well, I wanted a monoski that had a very positive fit, so I made it like a prosthesis.
and once I get in it, you just can't hardly get me out of it. I mean, it's real positive fitting. That way I can use my abdominal muscles and this sort of thing. Skiing on a sled, which I've done for 2 years, is great because it gets you up on a mountain. But when you ski on a monoski, it's a lot more responsive. You can, ski up on the side and through the trees and across the flats and stuff that you really have great difficulty doing in a sled. So it's a whole new world to me. But it's back to square one. Now I've got to learn to ski completely over again because it's so different from a sled.
What about the exhilaration, the freedom of it? How do you describe that?
Rocky Mountain High for sure. I love it.
I think one of the most important parts of this program, and one which I myself benefited from, was that oftentimes when you encounter a disabling condition in your life, you get into what we call a negative cycle of thinking. You start dwelling on all the things you cannot do. And one of the beauties about the National Handicapped Sports and Recreation Association and its programs and other programs like it is that it teaches people that there are, many, many things that they still can do, and that we want them to start to concentrate on the positives and what they can do. And it breaks them out of that negative cycle of thinking and gets them moving in the direction of really basically participating fully in society. It's the best motivator I've ever seen because it happens now. They can do it in a few days, and that successful experience builds upon itself and has effects throughout their lives.
To me, as a person who lost a leg 10 years ago, but as somebody who was very, very active in all types of different activities, it really is a builder of self-confidence and of self-esteem that really transcends into all aspects of people's lives. The motto is, if I can do this, I can do anything, and clearly there's been so many examples of that. The fastest growing part of this program is in the sit skiers, people paralyzed from the waist down who can't even walk. The blind skiers are also up and coming. There's really no limit to really what the human spirit can do. And I think what we're saying is, listen, there's no sense in staying at home, feeling that you can't participate. And we're out here showing people our abilities and not our disabilities.
The blind skiers have guides and rely on voice commands, perhaps the ultimate expression of trust and confidence in another human being.
We're at the point now where we're really being recognized as the athletes that we are, and there's no less athletic achievement involved in what we're doing than at any Olympic event, as far as I'm concerned. So it's not just myself, but really the hundreds and thousands of people all across this country who are saying, listen, just because I have a disability doesn't mean that I can't fully participate in all aspects in life. And sports is indeed a very important aspect.
We'll return to Breckinridge, Colorado in just a moment.
Warm moments on a cold winter night. Good conversation, easy and light. And how about something for your appetite? Let our gentle flame cook up something right. Warm moments, for those warm moments. Nothing warms you like gas.
Warm is what natural gas is all about. Clean, efficient, in fact, America's best energy value. Shouldn't it be in your home?
Nothing warms you like gas.
It's a jungle. That's how it feels when you're searching for life insurance. The natives don't speak your language. You feel lost, in the dark, scared. But there is a sign of civilization. With Prudential, your agent will explain things clearly and work with you until you have a piece of the rock you feel comfortable with. No wonder more people choose Prudential for life insurance than any other company. You'll feel right by the rock. Prudential Life Insurance.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
When Elliott took over as manager, the Southport office was considered exceptionally sloppy and unproductive. So Elliott called in Team Xerox, who studied his documents and recommended a solution, including Xerox memory writers for perfect letters and the 1090 Marathon, the most productive copier in the world. Now the Southport office is exceptional for something else.
Dramatic turnaround of the year at the Southport office.
Some have it, some don't. Afrin doesn't have it. Dristan doesn't have it. Only Sinex has it for stuffy noses.
Ooh.
That quick feeling of relief from instantly penetrating Vicks vapors, plus a powerful decongestant that opens nasal passages so you breathe freely.
Ah, complete relief.
For hours and hours, Sinex has it for instant and complete relief in regular and 12-hour extra strength.
From Vicks, of course.
The greatest bowlers making the greatest shots on bowling's greatest show. The Professional Bowlers Tour returns Saturday, January 11th on ABC Sports.
We're back in Breckinridge, Colorado for the 1985 National Handicapped Ski Championships. Jeff Keith is 22 from Fairfield, Connecticut, and was a goalie for the Boston College lacrosse team. He's now a competitive ski racer.
10 seconds. Before the amputation, I was just a recreational skier. I didn't really have a competitive attitude in life. And once I lost a leg and got back into skiing as an amputee, everything changed in terms of skiing. It was a day-to-day process of going out there and trying to get down that mountain without falling. The balance that's required, the endurance on one leg of skiing for 8 hours a day is very difficult. But I think also it was rewarding more than it was before because you're out there challenging yourself. And it's just the biggest reward you can ever have to be out there and feel normal again. And I think skiing really brought me back to that. Feeling normal again, feeling I could just keep up with my friends and also beat them as well.
Jeff has also beaten cancer. Last year, with Ted Kennedy Jr. at his side, he began a cross-country run in Boston.
It's not the easiest way to see America, but maybe the nicest. To visit a lot of hospitals and rehab centers, helping out kids.
See you, man.
How you doing?
This is Jeff.
I'm running across the country for cancer. I'm in TC right now. Wanted to come by and say hello to you. Not feeling too well? Sort of tired, huh? But more than that, the day-to-day running was very difficult, dealing with the pain involved with your stump and dealing with the friction and so forth. So those were the tough times. And when you get through those tough times, you remember the people you're helping, that the American public is behind you 100%. And we got through those tough times and finally made it to LA and did it in 8 months. I'm a person that really says, why stop here? Why stop and say, well, I ran across America and rest on that laurel? Whereas I want to keep going out and showing America that anything can be accomplished with one leg. And not only are we disabled people, I think people should, the general understanding should be, they should recognize all the amputee athletes out here as athletes first and disabled people second.
These physically challenged athletes are female as well as male. Here is 21-year-old Patty Werner.
I was only 10 when I lost my leg, and I didn't realize the extent of my injuries, and I figured it would be no big deal. I'd just get a new leg and go on as usual again. I learned how to ski the year after I lost my leg, and had a terrible time with that, too. Just walking through the village where I learned how to ski and having people stare at me without my leg on. And that was real traumatic for me. But after I got over the initial pains of it, skiing has helped my life and my injury tremendously, I think.
People don't look at you that way anymore, do they? I would think they'd look at you with great admiration.
Yeah, I think they do when they see you skiing down the hill and they say, I can't do that on my own 2 legs.
Most of the amputee skiers we've seen are called 3-trackers. Their ski and 2 poles provide 3 points of contact with the mountain. But many of these athletes look normal to the naked eye, 2 poles and 2 legs. But beneath their racing suits are elaborate braces and prosthesis, allowing them to ski in a very normal fashion when in fact they are sometimes double amputees.
This is a double below the knee amputee, and you can see the knee going down into the prosthetic device, and it goes down about here. Same on the other side. There's a thigh lacer up here that's what this brace ties into up here to hold it onto the thigh. The difference in this prosthetic from a normal walking prosthetic is that this prosthetic has a forward lean of about 18 degrees so that it matches the way the boot would normally grab an ankle, and so that you can get some forward flex out of the boot by pressing forward into it, and it'll make the ski react much like it would with a normal leg. Another way of doing the same kind of thing, if you have normal legs but they aren't quite as good as the rest of the folks around, you put some kind of brace on here so that you can't trash your knee going that way, and you can't trash your knee going this way. And as you can see, there's high lifts on the heels to compensate for the fact that my ankles don't bend, and to give me forward lean, just like it does Chuck here on the prosthetic. If we were to compare the prosthetic with one that he walks in, you'd see that one of them actually leans forward like this, while the normal prosthetic would be more like this, and he'd walk on his heel. And this one he'd be walking more on the ball of his foot in this one.
Over 1,000 skiers competed at regional races across the nation to qualify for these nationals. Each racer competes against similarly disabled athletes. Therefore, there are many divisions in both men's and women's categories. The nationals serve as a selection process for the United States Handicapped Ski Team, which will compete in the World Disabled Games in Scandinavia next year. Diana Golden won the women's 3-track downhill. Patty Werner placed second. There was an international flavor at these championships. The winner of the men's 3-track downhill competition was Canadian.
These are the best skiers in the world here. And I've beat a few of them in last year in downhill, and I just wanted to show them that the Canadians have that thing. It's called being a little crazy.
Yeah.
Well, being a little crazy is a worldwide characteristic of skiers and a special bond among these physically challenged athletes.
There comes a time when we heed a certain call, when the world must come together as one. We all a part of God's great big family, and the truth, love is all we
event was the men's 3-track downhill. Among the United States entries was 23-year-old Greg Menino from Yorba Linda, California. At last year's Handicapped Championships, Greg won a silver medal in the downhill, just barely edging Ted Kennedy Jr. for a spot on the United States team. An avid swimmer and sailor, Ted Kennedy Jr. inherited a love of sport and the competitive fire to go with it. Last year, he spent time as part of the backup squad of the United States Handicapped Ski Team. But this year, Teddy and Greg would finish among the top 3 Americans.
Well, you waxed my skis. Yeah, that's right. I waxed his skis this morning, and he beat me. Honorable mention. I forgot about that.
We are the children. We are the ones to make a brighter day. So let's start giving. Oh, there's a choice for making. We're saving our lives. Get through and make a better day. Just you and me. When you're down and out, and there seems no hope at all. But if you just believe, there's nowhere we can fall. Well, let's realize, oh, that a change can only come when we stand together as one. We are the children. We are the ones who make a brighter day. So let's start giving.
Well, that's the story of the 14th Annual Handicapped Ski Championships from Colorado. And as the years roll on, handicap seems to become more and more an irrelevant word. All week long here at Breckinridge, when one would see someone in a wheelchair or on crutches with a missing limb, the first reaction was, oh, there's one of the athletes. And that's what they are, bona fide athletes, with great coordination, in great condition, and possessing a spirit that every coach in America would like to instill in their charges. Our message is very clear to all of us. If we want to do something bad enough, we will. And in giving us that message, they bring out the best in us. This is Jack Whitaker saying so long from Breckinridge, Colorado.
is a personal car that has exactly what we're looking for. Taurus, now there's an American car with the shape and the feel we've never seen before.
For all of us who demand excellence in design and function, for all of us who will not compromise, Ford listened. Ford created Taurus for us.
For us, now there's an American car that has exactly what we've been looking for. Taurus, now there's an American car with the shape and the feel we've never seen before. Ford has seen where we're going. Ford has heard us loud and clear. Ford has seen the future, and now the future is here. For us, Taurus, for us, Taurus, for us. Have you driven a Ford lately?
Manage. To handle or direct with skill. Rockwell International Management stimulates the work of its 120,000 employees, 1 in 6 a scientist or engineer. Their elegant solutions to customer needs make Rockwell a world leader. Rockwell International. Managing high technology for global markets.
Whenever I get the chance, I head for these mountains. Of course, I enjoy these mountains, too, the mountains of Busch beer.
And now you can enjoy the Busch Holiday Sweepstakes. Grand prize is a trip for 6 to ski in Steamboat Springs, Colorado.
It's easy to enter. For further details, look for this display at participating retailers. So come on, head for these mountains. With a little luck, you'll be heading for these mountains, too.
The Gator Bowl, Monday night. Florida State has the explosive offense. Oklahoma State has superback Thurman Thomas. The Sugar Bowl, Wednesday night. Second-ranked Miami has hopes of a national championship against 8th-ranked Tennessee. Both games live at 8 Eastern on ABC Sports.
We're back at the Palais Omnisport in Paris. I'm Al Michaels along with Peggy Fleming. And time now for some skating exhibitions featuring some of the biggest names in the sport. Rosalind Sumners, Robin Cousins, Dorothy Hamill, and Scott Hamilton. Here, Rosalind Sumners, the silver medalist in the 1984 Winter Olympics in Sarajevo.
Something interesting about this number, Al, is Robin Cousins choreographed it, and he also designed the costume that Rosalind's wearing.
She's been working to a large extent with Cousins and credits him for her renewed interest of sorts in the sport.
Yes, she seems to be really happy these days. She's skating with Disney's World on Ice around the country.
Sumners, who came so close to winning the gold medal, which was won by Katharina Witt of East Germany in Sarajevo. The scoring of one judge made the difference between gold and silver for Rosalind. Be it Peoria or Paris, kids are always on the lap of Papa Noel. Dreams, though, need no translation.
Staying healthy on this job means being careful around the machinery. When the noise and glare give me a headache, I'm just as careful about my pain reliever. It's Tylenol. You know what convinced me? When I sprained my ankle and went to the hospital, they gave me Tylenol. It handled the pain without upsetting my stomach like aspirin used to. Seems Tylenol is the pain reliever hospitals use most, more than aspirin or any other type of pain reliever. If hospitals trust Tylenol, so can I.
Trust Tylenol, the pain reliever hospitals use most.
Come on along, I'll take you to the lullaby of Broadway. Hickory and Ballyhoo.
The lullaby of Broadway.
And in the center of it all
is the Milford Plaza.
Stay at the Milford Plaza Hotel with cocktail dinner and breakfast for $43 per person. Discover why we are the lullaby of Broadway.
The Milford Plaza is the lullaby of all Broadway.
#1 ranking is on the line for Penn State's Nittany Lions as they prepare for their Orange Bowl showdown with the powerful Oklahoma Sooners. Tonight, Lynn Cullen and Stan Savran will report live with News Star 4 from Miami during the 6 and 11 o'clock Action News. Each Orange Bowl report is sponsored in part by the new Giant Eagle and the Super Grand Olds Gang. Follow the Lions and their fans as they drive for the national championship. Join Stan Savran and Lynn Cullen on the 6 and 11 o'clock Action News tonight here on Channel 4.
This holiday season, have a good time safely. When you plan your party, use these hints from the National Council on Alcoholism. Make sure you order plenty of non-alcoholic beverages for your guests. If you celebrate out, decide in advance who drives home and make sure that person doesn't drink at all. Otherwise, make a taxi the one for the road, because Channel 4 cares about you.
Desiree, tonight at 11:30 on Channel 4.
Now Robin Cousins of Great Britain. From Bristol, England, though he is spending a lot of time these days in New York City, he won the gold medal in the 1980 Olympic Games at Lake Placid. Always puts on a terrific show.
Al, he is such a character. I skated with him for 3 weeks at Radio City Music Hall a few years ago, and he always had me laughing. It was just great. Double axel, the speed that he continues to have after he does the jump, that is wonderful. And of course, fabulous footwork he does. one of his trademark moves that always gets the audience going. Look at this, a backflip. Like this, I know the performers always love them. It gives the audience a chance to get to know their personality a little bit more. I don't know if anyone in the audience has picked this up, but this music is all synthesized music. There's not a conventional instrument in this whole piece.
I'm sure you can fool most of them.
That's great. Cute number.
A great ovation for a man who has been an extremely popular performer on the continent for some time. He's 28 years old now. Robin Cousins, the 1980 Olympic champion. A man who has performed in the European Championships on several occasions, skated with Holiday on ice between 1980 and 1982, and they love him at the Palais Omnisport in Paris.
Now we're going to take a look at his fabulous footwork. This is actually very difficult to do. It's a lot on his toes and very quick, very interpretive to this music.
And out for another bow is Robin Cousins. Still to come, of course, Dorothy Hamill and Scott Hamilton.
Now there's something that gives a higher return on your investment than stocks, or bonds, or CDs, or treasuries. The Sylvania Super Saver Fluorescent. When you figure what this premium light saves your company in energy over an ordinary fluorescent, you're getting a return on your additional investment of 173% a year. G. No. GTE.
Daddy, their ship has come in!
Sure. Find the holes in your homeowner's insurance before they find you. Sorry to barge in. Have a Prudential representative give you a fast, free Pru review of your coverage.
Are we covered?
And this?
If you had a Pru review, you'd know. Get a Pru review from the Prudential and get a piece of the rock.
Don't look like Bermuda to me.
This bud's for all that you do.
Carlos, I need 100 of these by Friday.
My friend, I'm retired. My son is running the business now.
Oh. You know just where you're going. It's true, your pride is showing, cause you make America work, and this bud's for you.
Here's to you, Beechwood Age, for that clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
This bud's for you.
Coming up later on World News Saturday, 5 Americans are now known to have died from the airport attacks in Rome and Vienna. That brings the death toll to 18. Also tonight, a look at the Penn State football team, ranked #1, but still looking for respect. And a report on a delicacy that's now back on the market, caviar from Iran. All coming up later on World News Saturday. Join us.
Now one of those performers who barely needs any introduction, Dorothy Hamill. Now 29 years old, the Olympic gold medalist in 1976, and a lady, Peggy, who seems to be enjoying skating as much now as ever.
I think this is the best I've ever seen Dorothy look. This is one of the prettiest numbers I've seen her do. It's to the music from Shostakovich called Romance. It's really a beautiful show. I saw it last summer in Los Angeles. So she's having lots of fun with skating. Lovely number. This was choreographed by Sandra Bezic of Canada. Really nice.
A great response for Dorothy Hamill, who's trying to find her way off the rink, it appears. You could almost see her mouthing, "Where am I?"
We'll take a look at this beautiful layback spin. The speed that she gets when she's spinning is really quite nice.
Matin, j'ai rencontré le train de trois grands rois qui allaient en voyage. De mon matin, j'ai rencontré.
Our holiday visit to beautiful Paris is coming to a close with still one more treat. Scott Hamilton.
Venez d'abord des gardes du corps, des gens armés avec 30 petits pages.
Have you driven a Ford?
Now you can get 7.9 plus at your Ford dealer. 7.9% annual percentage rate financing on new 85 and 86 V6 Thunderbirds, new Ford Tempos, and new Ford Escorts. Plus Ford's new 3-year unlimited mileage powertrain warranty on all 86 Ford cars. Plus 7.9% financing on new 4x2 Ranger and F-150 pickups. That's 7.9 plus, and Happy New Year at your Ford dealer now.
It's a small company. In fact, you're looking at the entire staff. But to the client, they looked as professional as their biggest competitors. Maybe that's because Team Xerox studied their documents and came up with a solution, including a Xerox memory writer for perfect letters and a new desktop Marathon copier, which gave them big features at a small price. At 9 a.m., they presented their case. By 4 p.m., they got one with a note saying, "Please thank your staff for such great work," which happily they did.
We got it! I'm Lynette Woodard. Being the first woman to play for the Harlem Globetrotters is quite a thrill. They're just a super bunch of guys. I thought I'd take a lot of razzing. No way. I get some major respect. They're not the jokers that you think they are. They can be very warm and caring individuals. So watch us live on ABC's Wide World of Sports. These are some changed men.
Well, now Scott Hamilton, who's always been an electrifying performer, 5th in the 1980 Olympics, 1st in 1984, and really having the time of his life as a professional now.
Oh, Mr. Cool here. He does that with such ease. skiing. It's actually really easy on the ice.
A situation like this, especially not restricted by the restrictions imposed on one in amateur skating.
This one you could
really
do. You could do that.
Absolutely.
This is Scott's answer to Robin Cousins' backflip.
In a skated exhibition, this is the perfect music. It's just great.
Yeah, the audience is really into it. And he does love the audience.
And the feeling is mutual. We'll have an encore from Scott Hamilton when we come back.
It's a big step, Tom.
I'm still gonna go to college, Dad, but after the Army.
I thought you wanted to be an electrical engineer.
I'll be learning about electronics, and I can qualify for the new GI Bill and new Army College Fund.
If you qualify, the new GI Bill and new Army College Fund can help you save over $25,000 for tuition.
So you're going to be a soldier?
Yeah. Be all that you can be. And an engineer. Find your future.
Be a good one.
In the Army.
What is the secret of a truly fine sparkling wine? It is the bubbles. Tiny bubbles like these. The smaller the bubble, the better the bottle. This is Riunite Spumante, a superb sparkling wine from Italy. An elegant sparkling wine with more taste than champagne. Our tiny bubbles will convince you. Riunite Spumante. More taste than champagne.
What power?
Where's Superman?
Superman, can you hear me?
What moves?
Your secret's safe with me. I'm not going to tell anyone.
What a guy.
Never thought this thing would go the distance.
Superman 2.
Tomorrow at 8, 7 Central.
Peggy, the crowd doesn't want to let him go. Scott Hamilton still on the ice. Doesn't need any music for his encore here.
Oh, he'll always think of something to do. Fake out here.
A terrific showman. Scott Hamilton, worth remembering that he took up skating at the age of 9 to combat a childhood disease. Worked his way up to the point where he won the gold in 1984. Now a great professional. Scott Hamilton.
And this move always gets the crowd going. A backflip.
And the crowd calling him back out again. More than willing to respond is Hamilton with a demonstration of that impeccable footwork. Out of Bowling Green, Ohio, now living in Denver, the one and only Scott Hamilton. And we'll be seeing him again later this winter in individual men's competition along with individual ladies competition from Paris on a future Wide World of Sports. The executive producer of ABC Sports is Roone Arledge. The coordinating producer of ABC's Wide World of Sports is Dennis Lewin, who produced our telecast of the World Challenge of Champions, which was directed by Doug Wilson. National Handicapped Ski Championships produced by Marianne Grabavoy, who is also our associate producer in Paris. Coordinating Director Carol Letty, Associate Director in Paris Joe Novello. Stay tuned for ABC's World News Saturday over most of these ABC stations. And be sure to join ABC Sports for the Gator Bowl, Florida State against Oklahoma State this Monday night, and for the Sugar Bowl as Miami takes on Tennessee New Year's night. Travel arrangements made through a promotional fee paid by United Airlines. United's the only airline to serve all 50 states. Now, for all of us at ABC's Wide World of Sports, this is Al Michaels for Peggy Fleming, wishing you the warmest of holiday seasons. Happy New Year, everyone.
Spanning the globe to bring you the constant variety of sport, the thrill of victory, and the agony of defeat. The human drama of athletic competition. This has been ABC's Wide World of Sport.
Brought to you by Budweiser. Beechwood age for that distinctively clean, crisp taste that makes Budweiser the king of beers. For all that you do, this Bud's for you. And by Ford and your local Ford dealer, who invites you to see the 1986 Ford cars and trucks. Have you driven a Ford lately?
This has been a presentation of ABC Sports, recognized around the world as the leader in sports television.
After screening a segment of Growing Old in America, Red Fox had this to say.
I don't even think about the age thing, you know. I think it's upstairs, you know. You can, young at heart, something like that, you know.
Watch Growing Old in America tonight.
Two more Americans are added to the death list of the Rome airport terrorist attack. The water ban continues in the Tarentum-Breckinridge area with special instructions from water officials. And the Lions are warming up in Miami for the Orange Bowl. We'll get a live report.
I'm Adam Lynch.
And I'm Sally Wiggin. Action News is next.